it's April from April's Home, and today I'm going to make a low-carb jalapeno popper chicken bake. So here are all the ingredients that you'll need for this easy recipe. You'll need a bag of chicken breast tenderloins. They usually come in either 2.5 or 3 pound bags. I'm going to go ahead and make a 3 pound bag today. You'll need some Mexican style shredded cheese or any type of cheddar or cheddar jack cheese that will work with this recipe. And then you'll need just a little bit of heavy whipping cream and sour cream, as well as a block of cream cheese. This is just one 8-ounce block of cream cheese. You will of course need some jalapenos. You will need at least 6 jalapenos, more or less depending on how much you like jalapenos. I like jalapenos, but I don't like it to be too spicy, so I'm gonna stick with this amount here. I pulled some nice fresh ones out of the garden. You will need some onion powder, some garlic powder, and some black pepper, and you will need a pound of bacon. So to start this recipe, I'm going to go ahead and cook up my chicken breast tenderloins. I'm going to add them to a pan with a little bit of water, get them thawed out and cooked through, and I'm going to go ahead and dice a couple of these jalapenos up to cook in with the chicken. The rest of the jalapenos we will slice and put on the top, and you will need between a half pound and a pound of bacon. I'm going to go ahead and cook this up and play it by ear, see if I want to use a little bit more than half, or if half is enough, or maybe we'll end up adding the whole pound. I'll go ahead and let you know as I cook this up. While the chicken is cooking, I'm going to also go ahead and cook up my bacon here. That way I can let it cool down and crumble it up to add into the mixture. When my chicken and bacon are all cooked up, I will come back and share with you how we put together our low-carb jalapeno popper chicken bake. Okay, so I have my chicken here in a skillet. I'm going to go ahead and cover this in a second. I have turned the heat on. I'm going to bring this up just to a simmer, and then I'm going to go ahead and cover this and let this cook. You can see I've chopped up some jalapenos. I did take out the core of these here that I'm cooking with the chicken. I'll probably leave some of the seeds on, some of them that I top it with, although I'm just going to play that by ear based on the temperature of those jalapenos. I'll kind of check that temperature a little bit. I used 2 of my large ones in here, and it was plenty just to start infusing this chicken with the good jalapeno flavor. So I'm going to go ahead and let this chicken continue cooking while I get the bacon prepared as well. And I just thought I would point out how I cook my bacon. I've got it here on a old cookie sheet lined with foil, with a baking cooling rack in the middle of that, and I just lay my bacon out on that, and I'm going to bake that. Sometimes I go between 4 and 425, and I just really keep an eye on it. I separate it a little bit more as it starts to cook, and I'll let you know how long this bacon takes to cook on the tray here. You can also cook it in a skillet or in the microwave, whichever way you prefer. My chicken is nearly done. I've taken its temperature here with a meat thermometer just to make sure that it's thoroughly cooked through. I did add another diced jalapeno to this too, so it could continue cooking a little bit. The bacon is also cooked up, and it cooked it down pretty small, so I'm going to go ahead and just chop up this whole pound of bacon as soon as it's cool enough to do that. I went ahead and diced up 2 of the jalapenos and sliced up 2 of the jalapenos. I did remove the seeds because they were pretty hot. While the bacon is cooling, I'm going to go ahead and get started mixing up the jalapeno popper topping for this jalapeno popper chicken bake. I have added my 1 block of cream cheese into a microwave safe bowl here. This is just a little mixing bowl. I'm going to go ahead and soften this cream cheese in the microwave for about 30 to 40 seconds until it's soft enough to go ahead and mix up with all the other ingredients. So I'm going to go ahead and do that now, and then I'll come back and add the rest of the ingredients. So I went ahead and softened my cream cheese for 1 minute and 10 seconds, a little bit longer. It was a little cooler than I realized. Now I'm going to go ahead and add 1/4 cup of heavy cream. This will just help it to spread a little bit more. Then I'm going to go ahead and add about 1/2 cup of sour cream. That was only 1/4 cup. I'll add a little bit more there. Just going to eye it here. Just squeeze in enough sour cream there. So about 1/2 cup of sour cream. I'm going to go ahead and add in my finely chopped little jalapeno. That's about 1.5 or 2 little jalapenos there, finely chopped and seeded. Next, I'll add in my seasonings. I've got half a teaspoon of garlic powder, half a teaspoon of onion powder, and a little bit less than half a teaspoon of pepper. This is really to taste however much you like of pepper, onion powder, and onion powder. I'm not adding salt to this because the bacon is pretty salty, but if you want to add a little bit of salt, you can do that as well. And now I'm going to go ahead and add a cup of shredded cheese. Now I'm going to go ahead and get this all mixed together. I've decided to add about 1/8 of a cup more of sour cream and 1/8 of a cup more of cream, heavy cream. I'll go ahead and stir that the rest of the way through. And then I'm going to go ahead and add my bacon in. I just stirred this up with a spoon. It's really nice and soft. And again, now I'm going to go ahead and add the bacon and stir that up. I'm going to go ahead and reserve a little bit of the bacon here, probably about 1/4 of a cup, to top the chicken bake with. So now I'm going to go ahead and mix this bacon in, and this is all thoroughly combined. It smells delicious, and this is what we will be topping our chicken with. So now I'm going to go ahead and set this to the side and get my chicken and jalapenos that have been cooking transferred into a greased casserole dish, and I'll come back and show you the next step. My cooked chicken has been transferred along with the jalapenos that I steamed with the chicken. Again, it is cooked through, that way I didn't have to worry about the chicken cooking. The casserole will only need a little while for the topping to meld in and all the cheeses to melt. So I've got this transferred into my casserole dish. This casserole dish is a little bit on the bigger side. You could probably just use a 9x13. This one is a little bit bigger, like a lasagna sized pan. I wasn't sure how much the chicken would have cooked down, so either way that will work. I also have my oven preheating to 400. It's still rather warm from cooking the bacon, but I've kept it at 400 so it'll be ready for the casserole. Now I'm going to go ahead and top it with our creamy jalapeno popper topping. I have started by just putting dollops of the topping evenly around the chicken here. And next I'm going to go ahead and use my spoon to spread that out. Then we'll top it with some cheese, bacon, as well as our slices of jalapeno. I've got the topping all spread out. It smells so delicious. I cannot wait to have this for dinner tonight. I will be serving this alongside some broccoli just because we love broccoli. You could also serve this over some cooked cauliflower rice if you wanted to keep this dish nice and low carb, or you can just enjoy it by itself. So now I'm going to go ahead and put a little bit of cheese, the rest of my bacon and jalapeno slices, and I'll show you what it looks like before we pop it in the oven. Here is our beautiful low-carb jalapeno popper chicken bake. It is all ready for the oven. Put a thin layer of the shredded Mexican cheese over the top, and then sprinkled the rest of my bacon and evenly spaced the little jalapeno slices on the top, and then gave it just the tiniest bit more sprinkle of cheese, just so it all melds together. So now I'm going to go ahead and put this in a 400-degree oven. I'm going to leave that uncovered. I'm going to check it in 20 minutes and we'll see how it's coming along. I'm looking for everything to be hot, bubbly, and melted, as well as the jalapenos on the top to get a little bit of a cook to them. So I'll come back and let you know when it's done and how long it took. My low-carb jalapeno popper chicken bake is out of the oven. It took 25 minutes at 400 degrees to cook up. You can see all the cheese is melted. You can still hear it sizzling away. It is piping hot and it smells absolutely delicious. So now I'm going to go ahead and serve up a piece so I can give it a try. Okay, I've served up a small little corner piece there. The rest will be for tonight's dinner. But I'm going to go ahead now and give this a try. There's a bite of chicken with some of the creamy sauce and a nice piece of bacon. And yum, that was absolutely delicious. The chicken stays nice and moist because of the creamy topping. You get just a little bit of heat there, and you could definitely ratchet up the heat there with more jalapenos if you wanted to. But again, I like to keep things mild around here. Both my husband and myself like our jalapenos just a little bit more on the mild side, but this definitely still has some good zestiness to it. The bacon and cream cheese along with the shredded cheese is really delicious as well. And I think that this will be perfect alongside of our broccoli tonight. And again, like I said, you could serve this over a bed of cauliflower rice too. I think this makes a delicious low carb dinner, and I'm really, really excited to serve this for dinner tonight. I hope you enjoyed taking a look at my low carb jalapeno popper chicken bake recipe. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll talk to you later. Goodbye.